Chronicles. Today we've got an unboxing that was 24 years in the making. Punch it, Andy. Did you just lock up?
I got the dictionary.
We're still here.
Sorry about that.
Almost got it.
Almost got it. Welcome to episode 50 of the Holo Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Andy.
I'm Josh. Hi.
We have, like Josh said, multiple unboxing tonight, and we're very excited about it. But first, we have a couple orders of business. You ready, Josh?
I'm ready.
Episode 50, guys. I feel like that's somewhat significant. That's 5 high tens. Right. All right.
Sanitize.
First lineup, first on the to-do list, we had our weekly hashtag Show Me Your Collection feature by one of our recent friends, been following us for a few months now, but her name is Kat, and we love seeing women getting involved in collecting because let's face it, guys, we kind of dominate that area of the fandom.
Nerd alert.
I mean, that's what we're doing right now, right? But Kat has an awesome collection, and we featured it on our website at
www.beyondtheblastdoors.com.
And there's a full article and photo gallery that we're going to go through real quick here. And you can follow along with us. Those that are listening to the audio version of this pod, hop on over to the website and follow along with us.
Yeah, we're doing things a little differently tonight, obviously, because we've got an unboxing. We're here in the Holo Chronicles studios. I think we're going with Studio 66. I don't know.
Sounds good.
Something like that. So, a little different, Andy and I side by side, but we got some cool stuff down here. And we have a pretty cool overhead cam. So get ready for that.
Yeah. All right. First of all, you can find Kat on Twitter at VadersGirl28. She's gotten a lot of positive response.
This has been a good show me. A lot of people sharing and making comments, and it's a good collection. We first saw the collection when we were doing another live cast, and she joined. I think that was with...
I think it was a trivia night.
Trivia night with Pete Fletzer, and we were just looking at her backdrop, and it looked like
couldn't stop staring.
A Star Wars store. So
yeah,
pretty cool. So
this right here, the Revenge of the Jedi theatrical poster, is her favorite item in her collection. It's the top of the top, and of course, with the name Vader's Girl, you'd expect to see Darth Vader heavily featured. All right. Her second favorite item is an autographed Vader figure. But she's got a lot in that collection. The collection is a little bit of vintage, a little bit modern, a lot modern, and then a lot of Legos. And as you guys know, Josh and I are big fans of Legos. There's just...
And those are boxed too, right?
Yeah, those are box sets right there. We got a katana up top there, which is massive build. That the ATTE. Pardon me, guys. Pardon me.
Tee-hee-hee.
Just good stuff all the way around. And again, every week you can find a new hashtag Show Me Your Collection feature on the website. We will promote it on Twitter. And if you have a collection of any size that you'd like us to feature, whether it's great or small, we'd love to do it. We've had some great ones lately.
There it is.
This was the picture. Yeah, that was her backdrop, the trivia night. And it was just like, wow, that's
very cool.
Pretty cool looking.
Like I said, it looks like you go shopping in there.
So she's been collecting for 23 years, ever since she was 11, she said. So, yeah,
Wow.
just a good mix. It really does look like a store. And of course,
We got some vintage.
how
Well,
can
she's a younger gal too, so I like seeing the vintage pop in there a little.
well, she's younger than us anyway,
Oh, I know.
but
Everyone's
it
younger than
seems
us.
like more and more everybody's younger than we are. But yeah, all sorts of cool stuff. I like that little Darth Maul Lego piece there.
Sure.
But this one was my favorite right here, the Ewok village, the Ewok hut.
Adorable.
Yeah, it was made for kids, but shoot,
That displays real nicely.
it does, and it might end up on my to-do list here. You've inspired me, Kat. And she's got puzzles put together on the wall behind as kind of a backdrop, which is a great idea. Hashtag collector tip.
Yep.
Put a puzzle together and use it as a backdrop. It's a great use of a puzzle, because who likes building puzzles more than once? Josh? No. Nope.
Who likes building puzzles once?
Yeah, fair point.
No, they're cool though.
All right. So again, the full write-up and photo gallery are on www.beyondtheblastdoors.com.
Now, what's your favorite piece? Or are we gonna make them wait?
Oh, the second favorite piece?
Yeah, second favorite.
That is right here. David Prost signed Darth Vader.
David Prost is Darth Vader. In case you didn't know, because if you have anything signed by David, that's what it says.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I would challenge you to find something signed by him that doesn't say that. That might be worth a lot more. Oh, you cheated.
Yeah, we did. This is a little sneak peek here. In the news this week, earlier this week, Daisy Ridley was interviewed on the Jimmy Kimmel. No, the other Jimmy. No, it was Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, Josh Gad was taking over for Jimmy Kimmel and was interviewing Daisy Ridley. And she revealed something that a lot of people thought was pretty, I don't know, pretty crazy. And I'm not sure why.
Well, like Star Wars Theory even reviewed it, and it was
Yeah. So
not happy.
the reveal was that that in the Rise of Skywalker, initially, going back to The Force Awakens, this is during the JJ directed movies. As so far it referred to Rey's parentage, there was some talk of being an Obi-Wan Kenobi connection, and then kind of got settled into the she's a nobody from nowhere. And then at the last minute, it was like, oh, you're a Palpatine. And a lot of people found that to be dissatisfying. But honestly, and I always learn something. We've said this before. Both of us listen to Star Wars 7x7 with Alan Voivod, and he's just a wealth of knowledge, and it's just 7 minutes a day, 7 days a week of Star Wars. But I was
Unless we go on the pod, then it's 20 minutes.
then it's at least 20, exactly. Well, double the fun. So
14 minutes.
So he pointed out, and he was absolutely correct, that George Lucas was making edits to the script as he was going along as well, right? Luke was a potential love interest of Leia initially, and then later on, only like in the Return of the Jedi did it fully come about that he was her sister. And so things like that, even in the George Lucas era of Star Wars, were getting edited and rewritten along the way. So for me, that wasn't a huge reveal, and I wasn't shocked by it.
I thought it was kind of obvious, to be honest.
Yeah, and especially if you consider that right in the middle of that, Rian Johnson took over with a directive to take the story in your direction. Right? Rian Johnson didn't even know why Luke was on the island. That was for him to develop. So, I mean, for me, it was kind of like, well, yeah, that's like said, that was kind of obvious. So I mean, I don't know why that was such a big deal, but it was a big deal to a lot of people. And
Well, I think people want to believe because they probably made, had their own head canon that's been going for years, like years, all the way back to the prequels, and even the prequels didn't pan out the way everyone thought they should pan out. And we've talked about this several times. So
sure,
we won't get too much into
right.
it.
People's expectations,
Yeah.
or their predictions became their expectations.
So I think everyone else kind of brought that to the table for Rise of Skywalker or whatever, Rey's entire path, and that's just it's not the case. I'm not shocked by it. Look, if they bring on somebody to start a comic series, look at all the stuff we're getting on Vader. None of that's pre-planned, right? That's all new stuff somebody's making up. It's going to slot in to the canon. Yes, the saga is the core, and everyone's pretty passionate about that. But
yeah, the only difference between the sequels and the George Lucas era was that George Lucas was there for the first 6, overseeing it, even though other people were writing, the script and throwing new ideas in there. George Lucas was still overseeing all of it, so there was at least that continuity. Right. Whereas in the sequel, it went JJ's movie, Ryan's movie, back to JJ's movie, and each was their kind of autonomously made. So,
and that's been hashed over and over again. I think I saw a few comments about that. It's just another thing to holler about. So whatever. We're just going to talk about some toys. How about that?
Let's do that. Shout out to the chat here. There's a bunch of people in there. Good to see everybody. The gang's all there. We got some solid patron support in the chat, which is always good to see.
And where can they find us again?
At patreon.com/Beyond the Blast Doors.
Well, subscribe. That's what we're trying to say. And go to the Patreon page if you'd like to. But
yeah, for the price of a cheeseburger.
If you're
every month
right now, if I'm a cool YouTuber, I say smash that like button. Smash it. I'm not cool.
All right. We had a listener question from Mr. Daft Prawn earlier this week, and I need to pull it up here because it was solid. Let me pull it up. We occasionally get questions during the week on Twitter. You can find us at Hollow Chronicles or email us at hollowchronicles@gmail.com. And
if you'd like to send a letter, no. Andy's address is.
So our buddy Paul, who we featured on episode 48, he had sent some figures in to get graded. The first batch came back, and they were spectacular looking. He had 85s and even a 90 graded Endor Luke, which you don't see 90s very often, which is pretty friggin' cool. But this was in response to that. Mr. Daft Prawn states, it's still astonishing to find minty examples like that in existence, especially loose. I've seen people in the past remove perfect figures from lower quality cards for grading and always wondered what the consensus is on that. Any thoughts? I have some thoughts.
Sure. And if you have thoughts, make sure you put them up in the chat and we'll try and hit a few of them. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to start, go for it.
All right. Well, my first thought is that if the card is terrible, sure. But there is something... I don't like the idea of just taking 40-year-old figures off the card, like generally speaking.
That's a way it'll never be again. That's the difference. A loose
can't
figure,
go back.
You can't go back. You'll never have that bubble in whatever condition it's in, that glue. You'll never have that bond again, right? So it is a difficult decision, and keep going. I have a point I'll make to that too in a second. I mean, yeah, go ahead. I'll tell you my two thoughts.
Well, I mean, even a card that's not in great shape has character, and just like you said, once you do it, you can't go back. Even if you re-glue it, and I mean, now it's still basically a loose figure. It would qualify as a loose figure once you take it off the card. So,
and the card will never look as good as it does with the bubble pack on there. As soon as you remove that bubble pack, you've got the tearing. I mean, I have any here, but we've got cards. You know, they're fun to collect because they've already been opened up a long time ago. But I got two thoughts on this, and one is to your point. I've got a mangled card with the Return of the Jedi Vader on it.
Yep, you do.
And I talk about that one. It's my favorite one because it's one of the first things I actually paid my own money to collect. That'll never come off the card. But could I understand if somebody looked at that and thought, well, that Vader looks really good. We could pull him out and get a grade, put him in a nice display box. I'm not sure. And it's funny because it almost leads to what we're doing today. So we might have some questions for you guys to answer for us because we're kind of pulling up the same predicament right now.
Well, so here's the deal. If it's in your collection, you get to do whatever you want with it. Whether I think it's a good idea or Josh agrees or disagrees or people on Twitter, ultimately you collect the way you want to collect, you display how you want to display. If you don't think the card is in that great a shape and you could get more bang for your buck if you're trying to sell it as a graded loose figure, who am I to say, right? Who am I to judge? For me, I'd prefer to keep it on the card as much as possible. Now, unless it's in terrible, terrible shape.
What constitutes terrible shape?
Like I'm thinking like
Water
water
damage?
damage. Yeah, it's like water damage.
Or it's missing a corner, or the bubble's already lifting or whatever, I guess. Right?
Yeah, what I don't understand, and I've seen this a number of times, is just the figure in a bubbled cutout, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't understand that.
Like the figure was left in the bubble, but they cut the card off.
That's kind of like Grandma wanted it to fit in the box she was wrapping it for your birthday.
Yeah, she wanted to surprise you.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have an idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's your collection. Do what you will. There's been shockers out on the internet too. We won't name any names that purposefully did this exact thing, and some people were just totally against it, and some people didn't care. If it's your collection, I guess you can do what you want.
Right, and that happened when I was on the Palaboys the first time.
Yeah.
A guy had taken an AT commander and just took him off the card. The card was in good shape. He just wanted a mint loose figure.
Now let's face it, these were made for us as kids, right?
Yeah.
And we were pulling them off cards 40 years ago, and kids are pulling them off cards right now. So don't get too bent out of shape.
Yeah, it's yours. If it's yours, go for it. Now, if it's mine, don't do that. But if it's yours,
yeah,
go ahead.
Come to my house and start taking bubbles. So
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daft Prawn, for that question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
And anytime you guys have questions, we're actually answering or trying to answer people's collector questions all the time, whether it's through DM, whether we're tagged in posts, or even like we got an email this week from a guy who needed some help with his collection. And right now I'm supposed to have my eyes on a couple things if I come across them. This guy over there wants something, that guy over there. And we're happy to do it. We're happy to contribute to your guys' collection whenever we can. In fact, a number of you in the chat right now, we've contributed to your collections. And I feel such great pride being able to say that. I love that.
Very cool.
But Josh, that takes us to
Let's get to it, huh?
the main topic
Now
for
that
this
is a good segue because we're going to dive right into it. But let's show them what we got. How about
Okay,
it?
let's do that.
I don't have any cool music or anything to lead us in, but you're going to see here in just a second. Andy configures the camera. There we go. How about the one with the little head over there?
I got them switched.
Slave one right here. Look at that beauty.
It is a beauty. I remember when you got that. The glass is perfect.
Yeah, it's got good glass. Now, interesting fact, maybe we'll get to that in a second. But it's starting to look a little. But there's a nice slave one. There's your carbonite that came with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll dive into that one in a minute. Then this is 1996 Power of the Force Slave One. Now you guys might remember this because I remember it when I was in 1996. I don't even know how well I was 19. I was always so impressed because we really had some true coloring going on, right? We had, you know, it looked like the Slave one from the movies.
It looked worn and beat up.
Yeah, and whereas the vintage one kind of has that clean, just like all of them. You know, the Falcon looks clean, everything looks clean. They weren't going for battle damage. These are all straight off the you know the line there. But I was always pretty impressed by that one. I never owned one until now. So we'll show you the box, and then we'll kind of dive in here in just a second. We're going to show you some comparisons, but really quick. And then this is the 2020 Vintage Collection Slave 1.
Awesome.
Pretty awesome. So what we're going to do for you guys is we're going to unbox both of these. Now, let's get to that question. So here I'm holding a 24-year-old toy. Should I take it out of the box?
What do you think? Chat, what do you think? Should he take it out?
And go ahead and put your comments up there, because I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm taking it out. So if you're highly against it, I apologize, but I don't think this holds as much taboo as if this were a vintage sealed in the box. I would not do that. I just wouldn't.
All right.
But this guy got it in the collection. It was part of the hot tub time machine. We folded out.
Framey says, do you remember the Shadows of the Empire version of the Slave 1 as well? It's very similar to this one, and yes, I do remember it. It's pretty cool.
So as you can see right here, we do have some damage on the box. So it looks, that's the classic box cutter across the top of the original that got this one. It was probably on the top. So value on the box is already a little diminished, but the box is in pretty good shape. Here's what the back side looks like. You've got some cool, you know, little more, look, the Stormtroopers helping Boba with Han. I know that's not focusing. There we go. Kind of showing you how to use it.
So there's a carbonite Han in this one too.
Other figures that you can also see the snow speeder, and I'm not.
Is that a T-16 Skyhopper?
That is, I think. You can join the Star Wars fan club still. If you cut that out. Okay, we got Gilster saying leave it in the box. I know Gilster.
Shabby Mark says take it out because that's what he did.
We have a battle. We have a battle. So I didn't even prep this thing. So we'll pull it out. It's happening, Gilster. I'm so sorry, man. We're going to do our best to be very nice to it. It'll probably go back in the box.
He says there's damage to the box. Open it.
Never mind. Yeah, see? I told you. There's a couple reasons we're doing this. All right, here we go. Get it in the middle here. I'm going to move vintage out of the way. Let's move this guy out of the way a little bit so I can get more centered. There. It's hard to.
Here, I'll take it.
Why don't we put it way over here?
Maybe I won't.
Don't touch it, Andy.
All right.
All right, ready? You're going to help me. Here we go. So this is 24 years old. We got some, obviously the canopy there. We'll do our best to show this. If you guys want to see something particular, hit us up. It'll be a little delay, but we'll get to it. Okay.
With the wings too, and the carbonite. Keep the inserts.
Cool. And what else do we have in there?
Decals.
The all-important decals. And here she is. Ooh, we got a compartment door that's already kind of not on.
All right, get that box out of there.
There's a little boba center right there. Okay, here it comes. All right. This was what popped off when I opened it.
Yes. Yep. Goes in there.
There we go. You guys are looking at Andy's.
Here's the decal sheet.
He wants to play with it already.
A lot more detail and colorful.
Might actually let you do this. I'm screwing it up. There it goes. Okay, got it. Okay. And then we've got the, yeah, go ahead and show them that. That's pretty cool. What is that?
Chrome art collectibles. Glow-in-the-dark blueprints. Wonder if you can still order these. Oh, this is cool. That's
cool.
Friggin' frame that.
Yep. So, as you can see, before we put all the parts on, but we'll talk while we're doing it. See, that door just wants to come off. You're going to lose your cargo.
It might need the back
So,
door.
if we look at these two guys side by side, it's pretty plain to see we've got matching molds here. There's definitely some more tooling, I guess you would call it. There's a few more. I don't know. No, it's the same. This is the exact same mold.
It's the same mold, just a little different kind of plastic.
New paint
that's all.
job. So you've got a gray back door, and that's the vintage.
I don't know if you can see this, but the directions are Shadow of the Empire directions.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's kind of a cool Easter egg.
So they use the same directions and decals for both sets.
Very cool. So was the ship any different?
Nope.
Just the box. Our little paddles on. What do we call those?
I say leave the decals off.
Yeah, we're not going to put decals on today.
You say calzone?
Calzone. Got any questions? Anyone want to see anything in there?
Mark confirms that the Shadows of the Empire version is exactly the same as this version.
Thank you, Mark. I'm going to break this in front of everyone.
Rez likes it.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, I remember seeing it as a young adult, and I didn't have any money. I don't like that door back there, though. Doesn't want to, unless I'm just still doing it wrong.
Rick says he's going to need those back at the end of the show.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Rick, I got you.
Okay.
Like any good. There we go. So it needed to slide into a track over on this side over here, and I was missing.
Yeah, Framey. Maybe you just didn't have it in the groove there. Or maybe it's just not a door that stays in there very well.
I didn't have it in the groove, Randy. I'm trying to talk and put a toy together at the same time. So, there you go. Here is...
I mean, the molds for the Han and Carbonate are the same, just one's dark gray.
That's the vintage there. Circa 1996 there. And which makes sense. I mean, I think the gray probably looks a little more like the movie version.
Yeah, and for this version, I think the paint job is enough of an upgrade that the decals might kind of take away from it.
Right. Now, what I was going to point out on mine, you can see a little lifting here. Mine actually, these are actually repro graphics. On these decals are reproduced
On all of them?
on this entire
Okay.
Slave 1. So what I like about that is that this was a Slave 1 that either had really bad decals on it, or they never got put on. And you know, repro sucks in a lot of ways when it comes to people that are being deceived by repro. But a lot of there's a lot of sellers out there that are very honest about what they're selling, and you can make something that you know, while still kind of cool, wasn't quite complete, and really kind of give it new life. So that's a good use, in my opinion, of repro on the vintage.
Yeah, and we've said this before, but repro decals don't usually take away from the value of a vehicle.
Right.
So, well, we got one more there,
Okay.
Joshy.
Any questions? Will you put those in the box for
Sure
me?
will.
And then we're going to set these guys behind us. Because this box. So I'm excited about this one. All right, guys and gals, here we go. I have never seen one of these out of the box.
Not even on a review video?
Nope.
All right.
I'm saving it for my review video, which is happening now. Okay.
Do any of you guys have this one?
Somebody's got to. Somebody has to have it, right?
Maybe. While we're waiting here, guys, don't forget to like the thumbs up button down below.
Smash it. Smash it.
And subscribe to the Beyond the Blast Doors YouTube page, where you will get 6 days of Star Wars content a week.
Oh,
That's the goal.
It's big. That was the question, right? I mean, the box said it was probably going to be bigger, but...
Ooh. Let me get that box out.
Yeah.
Well, the box is bigger.
Yeah, let me see if I can help us out here real quick.
Let me start pulling things out.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So we've got these nice little side pockets where things are. Ooh. This is cool. Bring the house lights up a little bit. Pull the inserts out.
Now, if you've been with us for a while, you may remember when Andy and I and the 5-0 Trevor unboxed the barge right here.
Right here.
That was what were we called?
We were Hall Chronicles, but
Were we?
that was early.
Sorry, I'm trying to cover up this. Trying to keep that in there. Wow.
All right, the body is already bigger. You open one of those. So compared to...
Yeah, quite a bit bigger.
All right.
It's got more room for personnel. You know how in the vintage...
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
done this in a long time.
I forgot about that.
In the vintage, poor Boba kind of like lays in there. Yeah, we got an escape pod or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, should I try and see if this works? We're going to try something, folks, so let's see if it works. Go ahead and add me.
Okay.
There we go. Paint looks pretty cool. You've got awesome detail in places where you don't need detail. I always love to see that. We've got a much more accessible door. And very cool interior. This is going to rotate with the ship. Awesome. Get us back there.
Okay.
Awesome. I'll leave that. So a lot more to put together here. We might need the directions, Andy.
Nah.
Okay. Andy is...
The Han Carbonite has multicolors. What are these called on the sides, Josh?
Greeblies.
Greeblies. The Greeblies have some color. It's a little more detailed. It's kind of cool. I'm digging that.
Yeah, that is cool.
Comes with missiles and seismic charges. Wow. All right, these.
You sure you don't have backwards?
Yes.
Kidding.
No, I don't know. Oh, there are directions. I mean, of course there are directions.
Getting crazy here. There you go. What do you think, Andy? There we go. So that's got some more. Close that. Some more detail near the wing there. A little more. I thought they both move, but they move independently. One's down, one's up. Probably screwed that up. Probably want them both to be in the same
Rez,
spot.
what am I looking for you? Looking up for you? I forget. I know you. Remind me real quick. The only TVC vehicle we have is the TIE Fighter. This looks awesome. Join the patron. Okay, yeah, don't disagree, Nick. The TIE is awesome, no doubt. The cockpit window looks bigger than the previous ones. Yes, it does. It does.
Quite a bit bigger. And then as you can see, there's 3 seats in there.
It opens up.
Awesome. I haven't figured out how this, I imagine it, oh, there we go. There, it just happened. Oh, we're locked up. Hold on. Come back to me. There we go. So that was kind of cool. Whoops. The seats rotate with the ship, which is very cool.
This is great looking.
It really is.
Did you show them the back?
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, wait till you get a load of this.
Yeah, this is where we separate here, guys.
That's slick. Love the engines, love the detail. I mean, if you're a kid who's 43, and I mean, if I pull that out, that right there, that's built-in sound effects, okay? I immediately know what those sound like.
What do they sound like?
Right on. Not screen accurate.
Right on.
But it's the noise I would make.
Rez, everybody asks us to find stuff for them, then you say that too. It's not a joke, man. I'm looking. Just tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
All right, guys. Get ready. Get ready.
Wait, should I switch the view?
Switch it over.
Okay. No.
Come on, Andy. Okay, here we go.
We're good.
Get ready.
Did you just drop a seismic charge?
Very cool. Back to the
sweet.
overhead.
No, man, hold it up.
Okay.
Oh, the missile's going here.
You got the missile fire.
I don't know.
Right on the back.
Yep. I do know.
Right at the camera. See if you can hit the lens.
Okay.
Go. Yeah!
I hit it.
Oh, I get this one.
Okay, get that one.
Laser targeting. Use the force.
Push.
Ah!
No, just a little south.
South. All right, show them this other. Show them this other stuff.
Well, did you get the thing that goes in there?
No.
Okay.
Is Hans in there?
No, this is like a little escape hatch. If you're, there's a little door in here where this fits.
And the door kind of has some, just some tension latching on there.
Yeah. So, yeah, a little escape pod. You know, if you need to bounce out real quick.
Now let's bring up.
Oh, one last feature.
Yeah, let's do that. Here, I'll put it overhead again.
This comes with a stand.
see that angle? Oh, there you go.
This comes with a stand, so you can display it properly on a shelf.
That is too cool.
All right, don't make everybody sick here, Josh.
Okay, I'll go slow. Sorry about the light.
But yeah, that is the deal breaker, right? The back of it with the engine, incredible detail, looks awesome. We got a little etched Mandalorian symbol on the base that makes this thing stand up and take it in its full glory. This is awesome. I mean, I love the original, but the vintage collection.
I got to be honest. That stand, I didn't know that was in there. That's a maker for me. This thing goes on display. Not that it wouldn't have, but heck, that's half the problem I have with the other guys. Let's turn this just so I can see it.
Yeah, man.
On for scale.
The banana for scale.
Yep. I mean, love you vintage. Love you. 1996 Power of the Force. Looks like we definitely took some of the same looks. But nice job, vintage collection. Nice job.
You know what you could do? Get stands for the other two, and then do this. I think the door just came off. The cargo hatch. Look at that. Coming at you.
Beautiful.
Totally awesome.
All right. Take it back. Framey's saying it's properly weathered.
Proper weathering.
Give that two-head shot. I can just keep doing it. People want to look, they don't have to look at our mugs.
Oh, we got all three going.
Triple cam. So, beauty. Beauty, beauty. All right. Well, that kind of, in comparison, like Andy said, the vintage collection, it's good that we had, something to come along, especially in 1996 where, the stuff we wanted from the original trilogy wasn't really
right. This is
coming back.
This is to feed the special edition hype.
Yep. Support the machine, but very cool. I still haven't figured out how these work. Are they just tension?
Just like that.
All right.
They work just like that.
All right. Well, I will see. Oh, this one has. There it is. There's the.
No, that's for the guy inside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking for. I missed it.
All right. Well,
Okay.
How much did that cost, by the way?
I think it was 130, 100 or 130. Maybe it was 150. I'm sorry.
No, it was 130 sounds right.
This is one of Josh's fire and forgets. Back when there were a lot of pre-orders happening, and then this baby showed up. I don't know, what was it, 6 months ago? They've already done some decal work on the inside for us here. That's pretty nice of them.
It looks habitable.
You got room for activities. All right. Well, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
That was pretty fun. I liked doing not only just the review, but then a comparison. We're fortunate enough to have three here that we can all look at, at our disposal, which is kind of unique.
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of unique, but nice to see the difference over the years, how it's kind of evolved, what's been added, what's been improved upon, and then, what's really cool is that you can put decals on them, or you don't have to. This came with just a few.
Yeah, so it just came with the control panel.
Panel decals on the vintage collection.
Which is, I gotta cover Andy's face. The camera just loves Andy, obviously.
Look away, baby, look away.
Yeah,
if you see me.
Okay. Oh.
I'm sorry.
The camera loves you, not the mic. All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Gilster says it's $200.
It's $200. I knew that.
$199.99.
It is now. Well, it isn't anymore. Now it's less, but more because it's out of the box. We took it out and played.
Oh, definitely. This is worthy of being taken out. Look at this thing. Well, it's standing upright.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh, I left Nick's comment up there for far too long. One with that.
Yep. Good stuff. So thanks for joining us. We've got more of this to come. I hope you liked our kind of new setup. We're working on being able to present more things to you quicker, faster, liver, or not. We might not be live every time, but get you some of these cool toys as they cross our tabletop.
Thanks for the question, Mr. Daft Prawn. Thanks to Kat. Shout out to her collection and her toy store, really.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That was pretty awesome. So thanks for joining us, guys. I want to bounce us out here.
Yeah, stay tuned. We might open that speeder, I don't know, next week. Let's see. Andy, you going to take us out of here?
Sure am. Good to see you guys.
Play with your toys.
Play with